on, Bay YouTube? It is Charles, and today I want to talk some more about Kill Train. I'm on number 3. I have been going through these slowly because it is a limited run, and I want to savor each book. I'm probably going to reread the whole series again once I get through it. I have number 1 through 4 right now. I just finished number 3. And just to catch you up on what's going on, Kill Train takes place in a dystopian New York where it is overcrowded. And to solve the overcrowding problem, they institute the Kill Train program, where random trains are selected for extermination. And we meet our main protagonist, Vanessa, who is a single mother who's dealing with all kinds of stress, the stress of a new job, a new city, and sending her child to a new school. And all of that stress and circumstances led her to take the public transit that day. And while she was in a rough mental state, and she was ready to give up. But when her train ended up being the one that was selected, something inside of her made her fight back. And the art is, first of all, impeccable. From the first trailers that I saw to every book, you really get that sense of a dystopian future and the gore and the blood. And it's gruesome, but still looks good. It's still pleasant to the eye, and it conveys a lot of emotion. And in number 1, we meet her, and we see the circumstance she is. Now she survives. The first car of the line has been selected for destruction. And one thing that I noticed about this, as I was thinking on this since my last review of number 2, is that the world of Kill Train really magnifies economic disparities. What I mean by that is her roommate, who is wealthy, he has his own private vehicle and will not think about taking the public trains. All of the people who are being exterminated are the people who cannot afford their own cars, who were forced to get on these trains and forced to gamble with their lives because they can't afford to do better. And so I'm starting to think this is as much about economic disparity as it is about population control and our system of capitalism and what could potentially be the worst outcome of it. Of course, this is far-fetched, and I don't ever see this happening in the future, but, there are things in motion right now that doesn't make this seem so far-fetched. And one thing about her is, like, all of this stress and all of this mental toll in this book that has been building since one is cause her to have a mental break, which helps her, oddly enough, dissociate enough from the violence to survive. And it's done very cleverly. You don't notice it at first. It's real subtle, but then you start to see that the passengers on the train that are about to be killed, they're tied up. They all of a sudden have her face, and they're all having conversations from her point of view, and you realize that is her dissociating into a mental break. And she realizes it, and instead of fighting it, she gives into it. Because keep in mind, she is not an assassin. She is not a killer. She is an overstressed single mother put in a terrible situation. And again, one thing that I mentioned in the last book that I did not mention in this book is they have really a natural start and stop point to all these. To where we start on her particular car in the train, and she ends up taking the lead of this group that actually fights back against the assassins. And they realize to survive, they have to make their way to the front of the train. and each car is a different group of assassins, and so they have to fight their way back. And she is the leader, and they have to fight their way through these cars and through these different tours. And while the Kill Train program started off with something they tried to keep um, sanitary as you could and as dissociated as you could, the assassins that the state hired, they quit in rebellion. And so they were forced to hire psychopaths, people that killed for sport, for fun. And so instead of it being sanitized and orderly, it has become state-sponsored slaughter and all of these chaotic ways that she has to fight through. And it's like each book is her fighting through a different car, and we're losing people from it, from this initial group one by one. The way I do reviews is I will show you a little bit, I'll show you the cover, I will talk about general points, but I do not want to give you particular plot points because I want you to enjoy the ride, enjoy the story. And this is one that you can still find in your local comic book, so I suggest you do it. It is from Mad Cave Comics, and it is at the $4.99 price point, but you get more than your money's worth at that price point. This is a book that gets better and better, and it constantly throws surprises at me. Just when I think I haven't figured it out, it swerves. But not just for the sake of swerving. It swerves logically, yet unexpectedly. That's been my thoughts on Kill Train. Get it for yourself. If you agree with me, let me know. If you disagree with my assessment, let me know. But this book has been getting. I had a person on Blue Sky comment about how much he enjoyed the series. So get it while you can. Mad Cave Comics, Kill Train. Number 1 through 4 available right now at a comic book store near you. And if you're not near a comic book store, I always suggest my friends at Coffee and a Comic. You can find them at coffeeandacomic.com. They ship nationwide and have great prices. And if you're in Wyoming, check out my friends over at spellboundcasper.com. That is where you can get access to the Spellbound Apothecary and Entertainment comic book store. If you're in Wyoming, they ship for free when you order over $35 worth of books. So if you're in Wyoming, there's no better place to get your books than Spellbound Apothecary and Entertainment, located in the East Ridge Mall, directly across from Hot Topic. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, keep reading them books. I'm out.